distributor of agricultural, food, financial, and industrial products. And by the members of Prairie Public.
The following is a local production of Prairie Public.
This program is made possible in part by a grant from the Bush Foundation and by the members of Prairie Public Broadcasting, where Plains Talk is produced.
Hello, I'm Matt O'Lean, and this is Plains Talk. Tonight we will take the grand tour of the newly remodeled, renovated, and restored Fargo Theatre, which celebrates its grand reopening this week. That's all next on Plains Talk. Well, it is a very exciting week here at the Fargo Theatre as they celebrate their grand reopening for the week of March 20th through the 27th. It has been under restoration, renovation, and reconstruction for about a year now, which means I've been going through withdrawals, missing my movies that I love here. But as you're about to see with Margie Bailey, Executive Director of the Fargo Theatre, it was worth the wait. She's going to give us the grand tour. Margie,
Absolutely.
You look very, very excited and happy. This must be quite a week for you.
It is. It's like giving birth, as many people have described it. Giving birth with a whole bunch of people assisting you in that birthing process. So we are back. We're bigger and better than ever before. We're going to be all of the things that we're known for in terms of a vaudeville stage. And we're going to be movies, movies, movies. Some really terrific film coming up, too.
And you have an outstanding week. You had the Oscars here earlier in the week and some other things planned.
Yes, exactly. On Monday evening, we had the Oscars. Tuesday night, Pizzazz. Wednesday night, we have R.L. Burnside. Thursday, we have Arlo Guthrie, so that's absolutely wonderful to bring him to our stage for the second time. He's been on the Fargo Theatre stage before. Friday night, we have The Wizard of Oz, the Technicolor print that's just been released, and that should be an absolutely sensational night for the family, because the Fargo Theatre is a place for families, and that's what we want to demonstrate on Friday night. Saturday night is celebration, the second annual celebration of women and their music. We have some wonderful, wonderful performers coming to the stage. Actually, I'm going to be part of that, and I'm very excited, and it will really be a wonderful evening and a great way to end our celebration week.
Great, and we're here in the lobby.
We are.
Which looks great, and you got some memorabilia here
We
that
do,
people can
absolutely.
look at when they come in.
This is the Fargo Theatre cups, and we have this wonderful print photographic piece that John Borghi has produced in celebration of our grand reopening. Those are available in our lobby. It's his signature Moscow, London, Paris, and Fargo. Only this time the Fargo pictures of the Fargo Theatre newly replicated marquee. So we're thrilled that they gave us that gift, and we think that it's a wonderful representation of the grand reopening.
Okay, should we go on the tour?
Sure.
Okay, we're down here at, well, the front of the stage, which is really the highlight of the Fargo Theatre that many people think, the Mighty Wurlitzer. Now, what has been done with the Mighty Wurlitzer?
The Mighty Wurlitzer is an entirely new console. So we have 4 manuals as opposed to 3. So everything that we're about to see behind us is an entirely new installation. New black lacquer case, an additional manual, so it's all new. All of the stops are new. Everything in this instrument is new. So it is, the sound will be basically the same, only enhanced because the pipes are all the same. What's in the chambers on either side of us is the same. But the console is a new console, and it is stunning.
Okay.
Absolutely stunning.
Let's take a look.
Okay.
Wonderful as usual. Do you find, Margie, that this is what people talk about a lot at the Fargo?
Absolutely. This is one of the really unique things about the historic Fargo Theater. You know, we think we're a wonderful vaudeville stage, which we are, and we're also a wonderful movie house, but very few theaters of this vintage or any vintage have a mighty Wurlitzer. So it's something that we were extremely proud of. We're extremely grateful to the American Theater Organ Society for having done this for us, and we consider ourselves privileged to be partners with them.
Talk a little bit about this project. I know it was very costly, very expensive. To talk about your role in it. You had to go out and solicit funds. Was it trying at times, and how did that go?
Oh, wow. Fundraising projects are always have their ups and downs, inevitably. I started in this project in 1992 as a board member for the theater. We actually got together a steering committee in 1994, so we were really legitimately into the process in 1994. I was still a volunteer at that time. I actually didn't start as a professional fundraiser for the project until 1996, when I was hired by the theater to write grants to the McKnight Foundation and to the Bush Foundation, which were successful grants for this project. And then I continued to do the rest of the fundraising for the project, and in 1997, Eloise Brechter and the current executive director resigned, and so I took over that position. Basically, at that time, we had raised about $2 million, and the major grants were written, so I felt that it would really be an advantage for me to do programming and actually have to be a part of that process. It just gives me more perspective on what it takes to run a theater, and then I'm a better fundraiser and grant writer and all those kinds of things, representative of the theater. So I started that process in 1997, and our grants came to fruition through that year. You know, you write grants, and then 4 months later you get the word on whether you have received them or not. By that time you've forgotten that you wrote the grant. Anyway, most of the things came to fruition by the end of 1997. In 1998, early 1998, we faced some tough decisions about where we were financially, which was about $2.1 million, which was approximately $300,000 short of where we needed to be. So we had to decide whether to make some cuts in the project and move forward so that we didn't lose our existing grant monies, and that's the decision that we made. So we went into the project in May, knowing that we were about $300,000 short. It meant that we didn't have the mechanical stage lift. It meant that we didn't have any rigging. All of the beautiful curtains that you see behind us, we had not funded at that point in time. The lighting we had not funded at that point in time. So we went into it knowing that we had to put a great effort into raising that money actually by November 1, so that if we were going to do the mechanical stage lift, we would have the money raised by then so that we could order it. So there were some significant challenges there. I have a wonderful board. I have a product, continue to have a product to sell here that is unlike any other product. So from that perspective, that makes it easy. From the perspective of competition for the philanthropic dollar, that's always tough. It's always tough. So you have to have, you have to be relentless in your pursuit of those kinds of dollars, and you have to be comfortable if someone says no, and know that's all right. There will be some other person who will want to give because it is in fact right for them to give at that time.
Once you started the construction schedule, did things go smoothly? Were there some bumps?
Well, there were some bumps along the way, but we basically I actually, you know, because I wasn't actually doing the construction process, for me it was easier. We stayed on our timeline very well, and that's thanks to a wonderful group of subcontractors and to a great construction management team. We met on a weekly basis. We knew exactly where we were at all times. The frightening part to me was that this place was basically demolished, right down to the brick walls, and then put back together again, because we had to replace all the mechanical systems, all the technical systems, and then bring in all the things that you see now that are so beautiful. So the beauty did not come into this project or come into this building, was not replaced until early this year. That's when all of the neon and all the paint and all those kinds of things happened. Prior to that, it was a matter of putting in all the electrical systems, all the mechanical systems, all the really expensive kinds of things, but the things that are unseen, that are behind the walls, that needed and had to be replaced.
What we've talked a lot before about not compromising the Fargo Theater and keeping that kind of old rustic feeling to it, yet refurbishing. Do you feel you were able to accomplish that?
You know, I think so, because I was sitting in here at our grand reopening and I heard someone say, well, weren't those fountains there before, or wasn't something there before? And I thought, well, even though that drives me nuts, it's a good sign, because it says that we've done this authentically, that it feels right, and that's the important thing. That is a true then and a pure and a successful restoration, which means that you've returned it to the original grandeur.
Okay, should we move on?
Sure.
All right. Well, we're here coming into the magnificent balcony area, which is always where I sit when I come here. So this looks, well, you can just tell
Familiar?
the change.
Yeah.
You can just tell the difference. It's
Yep.
wonderful. What did you do with the
Well,
balcony?
up here, you know, in addition to all the obvious cosmetic things with all of the painting, and then you can see the neon from here too, but we also added 7 downlight things here, which so it considerably increases the lighting capacity up
Okay.
here. So we can bring these way up, and it could be really bright if we have a corporate meeting or a workshop or that kind of thing. So that's a wonderful new addition. Obviously, the seats have all been restored. They're absolutely sensational. They're wonderful carpeting. Then we've also added a plexiglass position on the railing that has little brass accents on it too, so that keeps people from pouring Coke down onto the heads of the people below them. So those are the basic elements that have been added up here, but the most important thing is that it is the balcony that you'll remember. And it has the same feel. It still has that balcony feel to it.
Now tell me, one of the key things at the Fargo Theater is the sound. And you get a lot of movies here that maybe come through theaters the first time. You pick them up here that have, you know, the science fiction sound effects type films. How's the sound system, and what, if anything, is new with that?
Sound system is awesome, but remember, Matt, we are a first-run, critically
Right.
acclaimed film house, so we do those like at the 9 o'clock
people like the
slot.
sound,
Yeah,
too,
I know,
yep.
exactly. Sound system is awesome. It's a surround sound system. You can see that they're recessed into the wall, or we've tried to position them so that they don't distract from the Art Deco design, but it is going to be absolutely awesome. It is stunning. We did sort of a run, premiere for us with True Lies. We just had a print of that we showed it for us, and it was wonderful. It was absolutely awesome. So it's a wonderful sound system.
Tell me how this first week has gone so far. Take me back to the opening gala, and then everything else. What kind of response have you got from the public? What kind of crowds? I know you're sold out for some shows coming up.
Yeah, the response has been absolutely sensational. Our gala event was virtually sold out. The pre-party was wonderful, thanks to Wano's and VIP and Cynthia's and Luigi's. The food was absolutely dynamite, so people had a wonderful experience prior to the show. The show included the big band All-Stars. They were absolutely awesome. Doug Hamilton was the MC. We had Eddie and Kathy Gaspar, who did some original choreography that was based on a movie theme. It was absolutely wonderful. And then we closed it all off with just a very brief retrospective of the entire project, all the video. We edited all the video that we had taken throughout this whole project. So it was an evening that for me could not have been better. It was very, very exciting, and I think that it kicked off a week of celebrating a successful restoration.
You have some sold-out shows, too?
We
you were saying?
We do. Actually, our Academy Awards party did very well. Arlo Guthrie is just about sold out. We are sold out. Celebration of Women in Their Music, I think, probably will be sold out. It is not sold out yet. The Wizard of Oz is sold out. So it's very exciting. I think people want to see this, and they want to see it based on what their interests are, and that's what this week provides. It provides examples of all the capacities and all the kinds of programming that we can accomplish here at the theater.
And then the next couple months down the road, we have movies coming in.
Yeah.
And tell us about some of the other things we have.
Movies. That's one of my greatest loves, and one of the primary missions of the Fargo Theater is to fill that need in the community to have a place that books critically acclaimed, first-run, really wonderful films. We're starting with Hillary and Jackie, which of course had a couple of Academy Award nominations for Best Actress and Best Supporting Actress. I have not seen it, but I hear that it's a wonderful film. It's the life of Jacqueline Dupre, the cellist who was married to Daniel Barenboim. It should be really a wonderful film. We're tentatively booking Gods and Monsters, which also was an Academy Award nominated film. That's going to be dynamite. We're going to try to bring in Elizabeth. I want to bring that in before all the college kids leave, because I think that's something that would be, in fact, we've had many calls from people in the academic community to bring that in. Waking Ned Devine, we're going to try to bring that back, probably.
That was a great
And
movie.
we're bringing in a new film, a very new release called Cookie's Fortune, which is a Robert Altman film, and that's an ensemble cast, which he is very famous for. He's the MASH guy and has done some really wonderful ensemble work. And led by Glenn Close. It should be really a sensational film.
And Life is Beautiful?
And Life is Beautiful, yes. That, you know, again, it depends on getting the print and getting
But you're
it booked
trying.
and everything, but we're absolutely trying for that. And I would love, it would be wonderful to book Elizabeth with Shakespeare in Love if we could somehow get that done too, because I think seeing that on this screen would be really wonderful too. But Life is Beautiful is our kind of film. It deserves to be on our screen, I think. I think we deserve to see it in this theater. So yes, we will try very hard to get that.
Well, we're very happy to have those kind of films coming back.
Yeah.
That's a great thrill. Shall we
It's
move
important. Yes.
on? Okay.
Okay.
Well, now we're back on the main floor and sitting in some of the newly refurbished chairs, and boy, they look great. They smell great. That's when you know something's new. It's got that smell.
You're not afraid that you might be sitting on something strange and wondrous, yeah.
This was a big part of the project, wasn't it, Margie?
It was.
Sending these seats out. Tell us how it came about.
Well, as soon as we closed the doors, basically the first thing that went out was the mighty Wurlitzer, because we needed to protect that and protect all the things that were in the organ chamber. Second thing that went out were the seats, and so they were just loaded up on several trucks and sent to Michigan to Country Road Seat Company, and they totally refurbished them. We had sent a couple of our really old ones into them before so that they could do a sample of what they could do for us, and so we knew that they were going to be absolutely wonderful. And they are beyond any expectation that I could possibly have. They look absolutely brand new, and yet they're absolutely the Cadillac of the industry. You cannot buy seats like this anymore.
So they're brand new, but they have the feel of 1920s.
No, they're our old seats.
They're your old
They
seats.
are the old
Okay.
seats. They've been totally restored. Yep.
Wow.
Which is amazing. They're virtually like new, but they are the old seats.
Now we still see work crews kind of tooling around us as we're doing this interview. Little odds and ends. What are they finishing up on?
Well, little places that still need some paint on them, little carpet things, just some little glitches with the lighting, but not very many. Basically, everything has just been done wonderfully. So we have had wonderful subcontractors on this project. We've had Gibb Group have been absolutely wonderful in the plumbing and heating, and Ricard Electric has been absolutely terrific, and Comstock Construction has been dynamite, and Cook Sign with the neon, absolutely sensational, J&R Painting, all of them. And I probably left one out that was very important. The flooring people, F&M Flooring, have been absolutely just wonderful. They've done a carpeting that is really an Art Deco design that was custom made for the lobby of the theater. Really wonderful, wonderful work.
And the marquee outside.
And the marquee
Talk
is
about that a little
absolutely
bit.
dynamite. Well, that is not a restoration, that's a replication. So again, the Cook guys took that off the front of the face of the theater, actually took it to their warehouse and measured it to make sure that they got the right size. They literally put it down on the floor and drew
Down to the
around it, so it was amazing. And then, of course, we put that up in December, on December 31st, along with the drawing for our fabulous Fargo Theater quilt. And that's when we lit it for the first time. So again, that's a labor of love. It's a very labor-intensive thing to recreate a marquee like that, and not very many people can do that. So we have, in this community, some what I would consider artisans doing some really wonderful and very unique things.
Margie, we talk about the construction crews and the seat repairs and the sound system, but what kind of a personal accomplishment has this been for you? Because you seem just so happy and beaming, and take us through that.
Well, this has been, I started out as a volunteer on this project as a board member, and then I set the steering committee up in 1994, and then finally actually joined the staff in 1996, and then became executive director in 1997. Throughout all of that, it has been about love of historic preservation. It's been about love of the arts. It's been about a challenge that I couldn't resist, I guess. And along the way, I have met sensational people and heard memories that just link me to the past and give me an understanding of what one facility can mean to a community, of generations of memories and experiences, and the link that can create for a community. And so there was never any question in my mind, even in some of the darker days of the fundraising process or of the trying to design it so that we could fund it process, never any question that we would ultimately succeed in this, because we had to. I mean, what choice did we have? It's something that had to be restored, and it needed to be done authentically.
It must be great when some of the older citizens of the area come in here and share their memories. Tell us about that.
That is the best. That is absolutely the best. I think Ed Stern probably had my favorite memory of all time, and that was driving over dirt roads or gravel roads from Valley City in 1927, I think, to see Al Jolson and the Jazz Singer, which was one of the first half silent, half talkie films. Those kinds of stories that are just awesome. They create a link, you know, a link and a connection, a common thread for this community, and memories of meeting, first dates, of making out in the balcony, the back seat. We call it the back seat, you know, from a fundraising capacity. If somebody wants to designate that their gift to the back seat, we call that lover's lane. So there are wonderful experiences and wonderful memories, and it creates a common bond for this community that I think is unique.
And we're back here winding up where we started, the magnificent, beautiful lobby area. And Margie, you were telling me that the popcorn's still fine.
Oh, the popcorn is still the best in town. Obviously, you probably can't smell it right now, but it's absolutely sensational.
We don't have smell vision yet. Yeah.
Better than ever before, absolutely.
Good. Well, it's good to see that has not changed. A couple more questions. When you were out trying to get the fundraising for this project, were you surprised when people came through with the money? I mean, was that a concern? Were you surprised how generous the community was?
No, not at all. It's always hard work fundraising, but I knew that this was a facility that was near and dear to the hearts of many, many, many people, and that's how we fundraise, is to approach many, many, many people, in addition to some major grants that we've been successful in acquiring. But there are a lot of people that have a lot of sense of history and a lot of sense of community and a lot of love for this facility. So large dollars, small dollars, they all came together to make this possible. So no, I was not surprised. It's always tough, and it always takes a long time, but I was not surprised that we were able to get there. Although we do still need about $100,000, so we're still available.
Get the word out.
Absolutely.
Okay. Why, last question, why is the Fargo Theater important? The restoration for downtown Fargo, for the area, for the community?
It's unique. It's unique to this community. It's unique to this area. Actually, it's a unique facility in the entire country and probably in the entire world, because it's an Art Deco restoration, authentic restoration. It has a mighty Wurlitzer. It's an 870-seat theater, which is fairly unique in terms of size. And I think our programming is unique as well, and it anchors our community. It gives us something to point to that says this is something that is special for Fargo, North Dakota.
Do you feel good when people call it the cornerstone of downtown and you know, trying to get downtown revitalized?
Yeah, I think that's part of our responsibility, part of our mission, is to be a part of that process and to join the team that's involved in that process and to make certain that everything around us doesn't die around us. I think that it's important that we're a part of the planning and the forward thinking and the determining where our downtown area goes.
Okay, well, Margie, congratulations. It looks absolutely wonderful. Thank you for having us. And anybody out there, please stop in to all the many shows that are going to be going on here at the Fargo Theater in the coming weeks, and the movies. You will not be disappointed. It looks wonderful. Thank you, Margie Bailey, very much.
Thank you. My pleasure.
And that's all the time we have for this edition of Plains Talk. I'll see you next week.
Funding for this program is provided in part by Cargill, an international marketer, process